Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about updates on Aston Martin following their first proper day of running in Barcelona testing. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on Instagram and X at James's Pit Lane. I'll leave links in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. Now today was the last day of running in Barcelona, and it looked like teams were starting to get more confident with their cars. For example, Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari and Lando Norris in the McLaren joined Mercedes in the 1-minute 16s, and teams did a lot of mileage today. I mean, according to the race, just in the morning alone, Leclerc did 79 laps, while Oscar Piastri did 79 laps as well. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen in the Red Bull did 69 laps, while Oliver Behrman did 105 laps in the morning alone. Then you've got Pierre Gasly in the Alpine, who did 78, Gabriel Bortoleto in the Audi, who did 64, and Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin, who did 49. Now, as we know, teams were able to run on 3 of the 5 days this week, and in my opinion, Mercedes were the star performer of this test. They had a really good test in Barcelona. I mean, in terms of mileage, the team did around 500 laps without any issues whatsoever. And even though times don't mean anything at this stage, Mercedes looked more confident earlier on in the test to up the pace of their cars and start getting into the 1-minute 17s, 1-minute 16s before anyone else. So yeah, a really good test from Mercedes. And speaking about it, Andrew Shovlin, trackside engineering director at Mercedes, said, "From a reliability perspective, it's been a good week for us. The car has enabled us to run the program exactly as we wanted each of the 3 days, and that's what we hope for coming here to Barcelona. It's a huge testament to the hard work of everyone at Brackley and Brixworth in bringing this car to life. We've also made good progress with some of the challenges we saw in days 1 and 2, and that is pleasing. That said, in Barcelona, we've only really been focused on proving out the W17. In Bahrain, we will switch to setup exploration, which you can't do here when it's so cold. That will give us a much better idea of the car's relative abilities as we progress towards the 2026 season." Now, one team spoken about a lot recently is Aston Martin. This has been a very anticipated car, with it being the first designed by Adrian Newey. And as we know, the team were late to Barcelona testing, with them not taking part on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. And in terms of Thursday, the team spent most of the time in the garage building the car before getting out on track towards the latter stages of the afternoon. Now, I did a video earlier today about Aston Martin getting their car out on track, what we learned from it, and if you want to find out more, I'll leave a link to that video in the description. But yeah, today was Aston Martin's first proper day of running, with Fernando Alonso behind the wheel of the car. Now, as we know, Aston Martin are being powered by Honda, and well, on their first proper day of running, it looks like reliability is very, very good, with it being reported that there's being very encouraging reliability from the Honda engine today. No major issues encountered, and Alonso still doing long runs, and that Aston Martin should approach the 100 lap mark, and that is really, really impressive. That's a good job for Aston Martin, considering how late they were to Barcelona. Now, as I said, times don't mean anything at this stage, but one thing to note is that throughout the test, it's been average 1-minute 18, 1-minute 19s from teams. However, Aston Martin, well, they're in the 1-minute 20s on Friday. So that's quite slow, but it looks like Aston Martin may have limited their straight line speed, with the race saying Aston Martin is understood to have told others that its test plan would involve not going at maximum speed down the straights on some runs, so those teams could tell their own drivers to beware. The reason for the speed cap is not clear. However, it could have been for aero data gathering reasons, or because it did not want to stress components too much early on. And Planet F1 say that according to unconfirmed reports, Alonso was running with a speed limit of between 230 and 275 kilometers an hour as Aston Martin tested its systems and the new Honda engine. So yeah, if that's the case, it would make sense as to why the teams were a bit slower in testing compared to others. Still though, as we know, this is not about times, it's about reliability, making sure everything works, and well, it looks like everything is going well for Aston Martin at the moment. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.